This is a Thunderdog podcast.
Hello, and welcome to Midnight Musing, the podcast where I talk to my friends about the things that keep them up at night. I'm your host, Evan, and if you're listening to this on the day it comes out, then it's New Year's Eve. It's almost 2019, and that's the theme of today's episode, more or less, resolutions and looking back on 2018 as a whole and what the hell happened. My guest this week is Alanna. She's one of my closest friends from school, and actually we used to be on a podcast together. 2018 was a pretty wild year for both of us. Obviously, we both graduated, but on top of that, we had our own, personal experiences that made 2018 a bit of a wild ride. So we discussed that, and then also looking forward towards 2019 and what exactly we hope to do with our newly obtained degree. So let's dive right in to episode 8 of Midnight Musing with Alanna. So 2018, it's been a wild ride. Mm-hmm. Honestly, I know it's kind of like a meme right now, but 2018 was long as fuck.
Yeah, someone mentioned that there was an Olympics this year, and I almost shat myself.
Oh, yeah. 2018 was rough.
It was rough. It's still rough. It's still going on.
It's still going.
The gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah. We have about a week and a half left of it.
2018 is going to give it to me right up until that last second.
Yeah. It'll be a fond farewell. But I don't know if 2019 is going to be any better.
No.
I mean, I guess we don't have the traumatic graduation experience, but...
Exactly. I think it's going to be like a year of getting our feet like properly on the ground and figuring out where we stand in the media climate.
Yeah. I mean... Because 2018 didn't answer any questions.
No, not really.
No.
A little bit.
Somewhat, I guess.
I know a little bit what I want to do. It's just getting there. Recently, I've been thinking about becoming an accountant.
Oh, yeah?
Or some kind of financial advisor.
So going back to school.
Yeah. But that's just because I want to know how to manage my money.
That's true. I could really use help with that.
Yeah, me too. There's so much to figure out.
I know.
I'm still living with my parents, too. It's not even like that big of a change,
I mean, I lived with my parents for 4 months after grad, and Jesus Christ.
Not good?
I don't know. My parents are fine. They're in no way bad. It's just after 4 years of living on your own, you kind of get used to it. You go back and it's weird.
Oh, I loved going back. It's I completely redid my room, and it's now I have meals ready for me again. I have my dad to hang out with who can drive me around.
That was nice. I did have access to a car, but I was also in London. So, yeah.
Yeah. I think for me, it's mainly just, even more than being back with my parents, it's being back, I guess, kind of where I grew up. So it's I'm super close to downtown. I'm super close to my boyfriend. I'm super close to all my friends from elementary school who are still around. If I were to stay where I was on the west end of Toronto, no one's there anymore.
Yeah. So, and no one should be there.
No one should ever be there.
Yeah, for the record. We were not in a good part of town.
No.
But yeah, everything's different now that school's over, and that's essentially everything that this podcast is.
Yeah.
Because everything that I've been worried about the last 6 months ish. Yeah, around there, is all well, this is how I did it in school. Fuck, it's not working right now. How am I gonna do that now?
Yeah.
And it's every facet of your life basically. It's oh, I have to figure it all out because I'm an adult.
Yeah. It's everything's very different. I don't even think that graduating necessarily sucked because I was ready to move on. I was super sick of living in Etobicoke. That's why I even moved out early because I was I just can't be here anymore. I didn't feel like I was really learning as much because our whole last year essentially was just, oh yeah, put what you've already learned into practice. We weren't really learning anything new. So I was like, then what's the point?
Why not put it into practice in a place where I'm getting paid?
Exactly. And then I was doing like an unpaid internship, and I was all of this is like so crappy.
Yeah, it's not that like I enjoyed school. It was just that I knew how to do it.
Exactly.
Right? Like I didn't like it, and there were so many things that would have changed. I've talked about how I don't enjoy the school system all that much.
Yeah.
And how it kind of didn't prepare us for anything. But like everything we've ever done has been school comes first, and then like maybe you have a side job, maybe you have friends. I don't know.
Yeah.
Do people have friends? So now school's gone, and it's like,
What are you gonna do?
what is the focus of the life now?
Yeah,
Because a career is scary.
it is.
It's also like looking forward. It's hard to see it as many different possibilities, or it's hard to see it as like not just one big thing,
Yeah.
right? Because it's all one big question mark right now. Whereas it's really like 10 million little things.
Yeah. When I left school, I had like this huge I started to get really down and upset about things. And I was very much like, I just want to fast forward 5 years and be in a place where I have a good job,
Yeah.
where I'm not living with my parents, where I'm not constantly worrying about money. But then now I've been taking a step back, and I'm very much like, I don't want to skip parts of my life.
Yeah.
I'm just going to be in a transition period forever. I have to accept that. Things are always going to be changing. Things are never going to be absolutely perfect. You're always going to want for something else because that's just human nature. And it's just kind of being like, you know what? This is where I am right now.
Yeah.
I just need to make the best of it and set myself up for the next things.
Yeah. I think that's definitely part of it. It's a really hard thing where like school was bad but stable.
Exactly.
And now it's like,
yeah, because you always had a goal. It was
Yeah.
like, okay, I'm going to finish elementary and then go to high school and then go to university.
Yeah.
And then now that we're done university, we're like,
and now,
okay, some people, if I look over here, some people are still doing university. Some people are going for masters. Some people
Yeah.
are backpacking. Some people are just playing Red Dead Redemption 2 on their parents' couch. Like, it's...
yeah, and then some people have like dope ass jobs and
Yeah.
like have already bought a car and like I don't even know.
Yeah, and some people are getting married and having kids.
Oh no.
A surprising amount of people. But it's like now that you don't have that thing set out for you by society, you just kind of have to pick
Yeah.
what that thing is.
Yeah, it's just like a much big. It's a way bigger canvas to like figure out. There's just like a lot going on, as opposed to just like make sure your grades are up. Now we don't have the grades to keep up. It's like keep the bank account up,
Yeah.
I guess.
But also, if you want to blow it all and like go to Italy, you can do that.
Yeah, go
You're more
nuts.
than welcome to.
Yeah, you're capable of it. You're not getting graded on how well you keep your bank account.
I think I hated that blank canvas for like most of 2018 where I was like, I'm so stressed. I feel like I have to be stable
Yeah.
by now. And I'm like 3 months out of school. I don't need to be stable in anything right now. And
Yeah.
now that I've kind of accepted that and I'm like, you're going at your own pace. And as long as you have a goal and you're working towards that goal,
Right.
that's the most important thing. And it doesn't matter what that goal is. That goal could be work at McDonald's until you have 15 grand to go backpack across Europe.
Yeah.
But as long as you're doing something, you know?
Yeah. Speaking of goals, since it is New Year's Eve right now, as we are definitely recording this, New Year's resolutions are a thing. Do you think they're a good thing?
I don't think that there's ever anything wrong with setting goals.
Okay,
I
fair
don't
enough.
particularly go for it in New Year's. I understand like the whole like, ooh, it's a clean slate.
Yeah,
like
New
I'm
Year,
ready
new
to go.
me.
But I always like party hard on New Year's, and then I feel like trash for the first 3 days of the new year.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh man, I've already fucked it up, and then I feel bad about myself.
Yeah, I've never been a big subscriber to New Year's resolutions. I've never seen change as something you can do overnight.
Yeah.
Like, you can tell yourself, like, oh, I'm going to run every day. But if you, like, just start that January 1st, like, if you start running a marathon on January 1st and you've never run before, like, you're going to hurt yourself.
Yeah.
You have to build up to it.
Exactly.
Right? So, like, the New Year's resolutions that are like, oh, I'm going to eat better, or, like, I'm going to go to the gym 3 times a week. If you haven't, like, prepared yourself...
Yeah. And
You're
it's
just
so
gonna fuck
hard
yourself
to
over.
prepare yourself
Yeah.
during the holiday season.
Oh,
You're too
impossible.
friggin' busy.
Impossible. But so then people like try to do it for that first week. Mm-hmm. They go extreme, and then they fucking hate it,
And then
they
that's it.
fail, and then they're like, "All right, it's
And then they feel bad.
good try,
Yeah.
maybe next year." So like I don't think it's bad to set goals. I think they're just setting themselves up to fail by phrasing it in this like new year, new me
Yeah.
way, where they think that like because the number of the year changed, they're a whole new person,
Yeah.
right?
But you can totally become like kind of a new person to some extent.
Yeah, you
I
can
feel
try.
like whenever I'm like, okay, this is the new me, I go and I drastically cut my hair. I think
Uh-huh.
that's a very kind of universal girl thing
Okay.
where,
Do you think hairdressers are just real busy on January 1st?
oh my God, my hairdresser, I booked her mid-November for December.
Uh-huh.
And she's like, oh, good, we're almost booked up. Because the entire holiday season is like jam-packed because you have holiday parties
Yeah.
and everyone wants to look good in photos
Yeah.
and things like that. And she says that that's when people get the most drastic haircuts.
Oh, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah. And she's also just working 3 weeks straight. Like,
Fun.
yeah.
Have you ever set a New Year's resolution? Like, have you ever actually really tried
No.
to do one in the like traditional sense?
No, I've never. I used to set like monthly resolutions, I guess, where I'd be
Sure.
like, okay, this month I'm going to walk my dog every single day, regardless if someone else has walked it or not. So it's like,
Right.
then he'll just get 2 walks a day. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter, instead of like us taking turns.
Yeah.
And then I like do X's on my calendar every single day that I walked him. And even if I don't have a full block of just X's, at least I feel better that some
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
days he got walked, or it's like I want to work out or at least stretch every single day.
Right.
And then you do X's. I like the X's because then you can like look at it
Yeah.
and be like, okay, I'm accomplishing something. And you also feel good when you
Yeah,
complete the
especially
X.
when it's something abstract that doesn't necessarily have like a physical representation. Like I
Yeah.
guess working out does because you like lose weight or build muscle or whatever.
Yeah.
But like that's
But that
relatively
can take
extreme.
a lot longer than a month.
Oh,
that you
100%.
won't see.
Like you're not going to, and you won't notice it because you're there every day. It's your
Yeah.
body, so it won't feel like a drastic change.
Exactly.
Because it's so slow of a build. But like seeing the X's every day
Yeah.
is like, I don't know. Because we're dumb little baby children in our heads, right? Like we just want a reward for when we do something good.
Yeah, I really, really like being able to like check something off
Uh-huh.
or X something. Every single day I write a to-do list on my whiteboard and I put little squares next to it so I can check things off if I do them.
Yeah, I think I've seen that.
Yeah, just
I-
feels good. I
I
used to
haven't
do
done
it in my agenda at school.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I just find it's hard to hold myself accountable if I don't have like a set list. I have
Yeah.
so many days where I'm like, oh, I'm not going to write on the whiteboard today, but this is what I want to do. I'm like, oh, but that
Oh,
can
so
be
then
done
I'm not gonna do
tomorrow.
it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I do that just by like telling people that I'm going to do something.
That's a good way to do it too.
Yeah.
I find that recently I've been holding myself more accountable than other people have. Mm-hmm. Which is kind of worrying because before it used to be like, oh my God, if this person knows that I didn't do this, I'm going to feel so bad.
Right.
And this and that. And now I'm kind of like, I don't care as much. I used to care a lot. I think I'm like becoming desensitized to it.
Right.
I used to feel like physically sick whenever I was late showing up somewhere.
Okay.
And now I can like show up a couple minutes late and be like, oh yeah, it's no big deal. But I know that that's just going to mean that I'm going to get later and later and later. And then I'm going to be the person who always shows up late.
I'm very punctual. I try to be, at least. Mm-hmm. Like, obviously, there are times when traffic or whatever just doesn't work with you.
Yeah.
But, like, I will set myself up to be there 20 minutes early so that if something happens, I'm only 5 minutes early instead.
Yeah.
Like, I'd rather be 20 minutes early than 5 minutes late. Like,
That's how I used to be, but not anymore.
when I was doing my internship, I was the first person to get there. Because the bus was either, like, 25 minutes before anyone else arrives.
Yeah.
Or 10 minutes late. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to be 10 minutes late every day.
Yeah. That's fair.
So I just started getting coffee, and that took a while.
There you go.
I also have this weird habit of, like, after a while of, like, being, like, 15 minutes early, like, I don't, like, keep my schedule. I just keep making it earlier. Where, like, I know if I leave at 7:15, I'll be there at 7:45. Okay, well, I'm ready at, like, 7:08 because I know I have to be ready at 7:15.
Yeah.
So I'm ready early because I want to be early. So then I leave early, and then I'm even early. It's a ridiculous, horrible thing that, like, doesn't really affect anything.
Yeah.
Usually.
Other than you're waiting out in the cold.
Yeah, that didn't feel great, but, you know.
There are worse things.
Yeah, that's what the coffee's for.
Oh, makes sense.
Yeah, the only time I really set a New Year's resolution, it wasn't like a traditional one. It was that year that I was like, I'm going to watch 365 movies in 365 days.
Oh, yeah.
Which I failed. But it took me a while to fail it.
You were doing really well for a long time.
282, I think.
Wow.
It was absurd.
That is actually absurd.
I know. Especially considering 2018, I probably watched like 20 movies. Like, I don't know. It was just my jam then.
Yeah.
Watching movies. And like, we were in res, so
Yeah.
it was just the most convenient thing was,
Exactly. We'd
we're
all
gonna hang
go
out, watch a
and
movie.
watch a couple movies.
Yeah, we'd usually turn to 2 or 3 in
Yeah.
a night. Like, maybe we were drinking, maybe we weren't, didn't matter.
Yeah.
We often were just talking over it, but
But still, it counts.
yeah, it counts. But that was the only real, like, goal I set, and I knew it was a goal I wasn't going to hit. I don't know. It felt like it could have been, like, I could have turned it into something.
A podcast, perhaps?
Something like that. I could have marketed my life more.
Yeah.
But I was a juvenile
market
18-year-old. Now I'm 21 and know how to market my sadness.
That's the whole goal. This one doesn't feel very sad.
No, some of them aren't. Julian's wasn't.
I think that we should set some New Year's resolutions because you said that you tell people to hold yourself accountable.
Ooh, I'm going to be accountable to the 4 people that listen to this podcast.
Yeah, I think you should be accountable to all 4 people listening right now on New Year's Eve. Should we set parameters? I think just one New Year's resolution, but I think it has to be something that you can actually measure.
Right.
Because my goals, like every single month, I'm like, oh, I want to be more creative.
Yeah.
And it's like, or I want to actually follow through with things. And I'm like, you can't measure that.
That's so, yeah, that doesn't mean much. It's all arbitrary.
Yeah, I just sit there and I'm like, yeah, I think I was more creative than last month. Versus like, I want to create something every single day.
Yeah, that's hard.
That is hard.
That's something I think I would like to do in theory, but there are just so many days that suck.
Yeah.
And I just don't have time. So New Year's resolutions. Jesus, I don't know.
I just kind of want to hit like 25 episodes of the project I'm working on with Alex.
Secret.
Do you know about the project I'm working on with Alex?
He told me something was happening, and I can't remember what it was.
It's just like explaining how to get into freelance and like how to do your accounting and things like that. I'd like to hit 25 episodes of that. I think we have 3 recorded, but I tried editing one, and I'm not good at editing, and I had a really hard time, and I got frustrated, and I gave up, and it's been sitting there for a month. So I'd really like to hit 25 episodes of that. And
25 published or 25 recorded?
25 published. Like on our YouTube channel, and I want the articles to be on our website.
Okay. That seems doable. That's one every 2 weeks approximately.
Exactly.
And if you already have
totally
3, kind of in the can.
Well, the thing is, I like to record those 3 again because the lighting wasn't great.
Yeah. Lighting will really screw you.
Yeah. I think I want a more natural lighting. That's the thing. It's like the lighting's not bad. We had like 3 lights.
Oh, okay.
Proper professional lights set up. It's just...
It looks like a little much.
Yeah. It's a little artificial, I think.
I mean, I think that's a pretty good goal, right? Like, it's very tangible, obviously.
Yeah.
25. Would that be inhibited in any way by somewhat relying on another person?
The thing is, I don't have to rely on him if he turns out to be unreliable.
Right.
But that's my thing. Like, I don't want to have to rely solely on someone else. Like, if he wants to come in and he's like, oh, I just want to talk about freelance writing.
Right.
Because that's what I'm doing. That's what I know. Then I could be like, yeah, you can do, like, your own thing with freelance writing if you want. And if not, I still have me.
Yeah, and you can always get other people on, too.
Exactly. I know a ton of people who are just freelancing and doing whatnot. And nobody seems to fully understand what they're doing.
That's fair. It's kind of like a weird thing. It's hard to figure out. Where there's not really any one right way to do it, as long as you're paying taxes on the money you make.
Yeah.
Any way you make that money kind of is fine.
Yeah, it's just hard to market yourself, I think.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
I think that people are kind of confused. They're like, okay, well, what do I need to set up a freelance business? Do I need a business name? Do I need a business account?
Yeah.
What makes me actually legal? And the thing is, it's so strange because when we graduated, basically everybody went into freelancing. From journalism, everyone was doing freelance articles, and most of them still are.
Which is fair.
But everyone was buying books. Because there's nothing online. There's no good resources online for freelance information. Even I did. I spent like $100 on different books. And they were really useful. They were good books. They had information that I wouldn't have found online. But it's like, that should be online. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. The why is really important. A lot of people will give you the how.
Yeah.
Or the
like
what.
if I look up like Photoshop blending tutorials.
Yeah.
I can find them.
Yeah, and then you can replicate that one thing.
Yeah.
But you would never be able to use those skills in any other like way.
Exactly.
Because it's like, well, I don't know why I actually did that or how it interacts with any other tools.
Exactly. Or if I have like an image and I'm like, okay, I know that I want to do this.
Yeah.
I want to superimpose a couple eyes onto this person's face.
Wow.
It's like, okay, but how do you look that up?
Yeah.
Because you don't know what's needed.
Yeah. I think 25 episodes is a very tangible, achievable goal.
Yeah. I'm all about tangible and achievable, baby. Okay, go into yours. I want to hear your New Year's resolution.
That's so fucking hard. Because, like, do you make it like a job thing? Do you make it a creative thing?
Something that fulfills you, I think. Because then you're more likely to actually do it.
Definitely not a job then. I think in 2019, I really want Thunderdog to actually get off the ground. Like, right now, it's my show. And that is the quote-unquote network. That's not a network. That's my show.
Yeah.
That's currently active and on a schedule and has episodes coming out in the foreseeable future.
But what do you mean by get off the ground? You see, now we're going into something that's totally
Semantics.
subjective.
Yeah.
If it was like, oh, I want every single episode of every single podcast to hit like 100 listens.
When I was originally talking to my quote-unquote business partner at the beginning of this, we said our original goal was to have a show come out every day of the week.
Okay.
I still think that's an attainable goal, but maybe not as easy as I thought it would be. Like, going through the process of, like, okay, this person has an idea for a show. How do I take it from an idea to something that is on the internet and downloadable?
Yeah.
Has taken a bit longer than I thought it would. And people are busy. So, like, I'm not blaming any of those people. But it is, like, a longer process than I thought.
Getting people to actually sign on and be committed.
Yeah. And, like, I'm not asking people for, like, a strict schedule and, like, you miss an episode, you're off the shit or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
I'm really just offering people $5 a month that they don't have to spend.
Yeah.
And if they want my help, I'll offer them advice or whatever. Because I don't have the answers. I'm kind of just figuring this out myself.
Yeah.
But I have a bit more experience than everyone else.
It's really hard to find people that you work with.
Yeah, it's hard to find people that you like personally and also that you can work with.
For me, it's not even fully about liking someone personally. It's more about, can we work together? Because, and I think I had it all wrong when I went out of school, where I was like, I want to work with people that I like, and right away we're going to go into something and we're going to start a company together and things like that, where it's like, no, start with one project and then do 2 projects together and then maybe 3 projects together. And if you find that, like, all of these one-off projects and things are working, then think about maybe we can actually team up.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to commit to someone too early. Date them a little bit.
Yeah.
Get a couple things in there and see if it's working.
See how they work before you're, like, committed. But, like, yeah, I think I had the same misconception where it was like, these are the people that I thought worked well in school because they had assignments and
grades,
you know,
and
they did things well.
Yeah.
Once we get out of school, it'll be the same way. When you're self-motivated. Not so much. And, like, I don't know.
Yeah. It's just people are very different now. And I didn't expect for people to change so much, and, like, I guess it's just people have different priorities.
Yeah.
But I still want people to have my priorities.
Yeah.
And it's coming to understand that it's like, no, if they think that they should be doing this, even if it's like, I'm going to work a shitty part-time job.
You coming at me?
No. I thought you were working full-time.
I did in the summer.
There you go. But it's like, if someone wants to put all of their hours into something that you don't see as useful, but they do, you just got to respect that. Maybe they're saving up to go on a trip to Europe.
Yeah. Like you said earlier, like, some people are going back to school. Some people are, like, diving headlong into, like, the industry. Other people are, you know, getting some bank account built up before they do whatever else. So, like, everyone's priorities used to be get A+,
Yeah.
go back to bed. And now it's like, and now everybody has all these different goals and priorities. And it's like, okay, we were talking like we had the same priorities, and then reality happened.
Yeah.
And you can't blame the person for that.
No.
But it also doesn't mean that you have to work with them.
Exactly.
Like, you can still be friends, and you can still, like them.
Yeah.
It just doesn't mean that you have to be professionally involved.
Exactly.
Right? This also works for romantic advice.
It's true.
But yeah, so tangibly,
Yeah.
by the end of 2019, I think having 7 running shows is a possibility.
Okay.
Like, if I'm going from 1 to 4 in the next month or so, potentially, like, it's feasible that I could keep adding on. The only problem is I don't talk to that many people. So I don't know where else I'm going to get shows from unless we start getting a really big audience and people start coming to me, and I don't really know if I want that.
Yeah.
I think I would rather keep it to people I know for now.
Yeah, I think so. That makes sense.
Just because then I know that, like, they don't expect a very high level of professionalism. Like, I'm still going to message them on Facebook and be like, yo, shit's fucked. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
I'm going to fix it. Like, to some people, that would be a deal breaker if I'm supposed to be their producer and their, like, publisher and stuff like that. But, like, if it's people I know, then they'll be like, yeah, let's chill.
Yeah, exactly.
When are you going to get it out? I'll let my rabid fans know. What about personal goals? Rather than, like, pseudo-professional? Because this isn't like we're making money off of it.
Yeah. I mean, I want to lose weight.
Uh-huh. Are you still doing the no added sugar thing?
No, I was doing really, really well. And then I was kind of like, oh, it's like the holidays. And then I started making excuses for myself.
Right.
And it's like recently I've been eating so much like shit. Like it's absolutely terrible. I baked so much for my Christmas party.
Right.
I had like 4 full things of cookies.
Yeah.
And then I did cupcakes as well. And then we had like a big slow cooker hot chocolate. And then people hardly ate, so I had all these things. I'm like, I don't want it to go to waste. So I was eating even though I didn't really want to be eating.
Right.
And now I'm trying to like get back
again.
into eating vegetables occasionally.
Yeah, every once in a while.
Yeah. But then how do I measure that?
Yeah, like, do you have a goal weight?
Not anymore, because last year I set a goal weight.
Right.
And I was like, oh, I want to be 130 or under. And then a week later, I measured myself and I was 128. And I'm like, well, I guess I did it.
Nailed it.
And then I just kind of forgot about it.
Where do you accomplish your New Year's resolution too fast?
I don't even know what it was. I guess I thought that I was a lot heavier than I actually was.
So you just picked a number without weighing yourself first?
I was too scared to weigh myself. I think I might have
Okay.
weighed myself and I was like 136, but that might have been at the end of the day. And then the next time I weighed myself was in the morning or something changed. Maybe I was wearing a heavy sweater the one day.
Maybe. A 6-pound sweater.
But yeah, I don't know if I want to do a goal weight. I think I'd just like to exercise more because it's not even about losing weight. It's just about losing fat.
Yeah.
I don't mind if I weigh more, but it's more muscle.
Yeah, that's fair. So how many times a week?
I'm going to say 2 because I
Twice
think
a week?
2 is attainable.
2 is achievable.
On top of, because it's also like I do walk quite a bit.
Yeah.
And I stretch when I lay in bed. I'll be like watching TV and I'll just kind of stretch on the floor. So on top of like the other kind of active things, I want to like properly work out. The thing is I get embarrassed.
Yeah.
I don't like people to see me working out. My parents went away for basically a month.
Right.
And I worked out 4 times a week, every single week.
Oh, yeah? Just like in the house?
Yeah, because no one was in the house. I could cast a workout video on YouTube onto the thing, and I'd work out with my weights.
Yeah. That's one definite advantage of not living with your parents.
Yeah. But it was also like Luke wasn't in the house. If Luke was in the house, I probably wouldn't do it.
Probably not.
Yeah.
I think 2019 should be less traumatic for us. Like, there aren't going to be any foreseeable big changes. Like, there might still be changes, of course.
My sister might have a baby.
Again?
Yeah.
Wow. She's fertile. But that's not as big of a change as, like, you having a baby.
Oh, Jesus. Could you imagine me having a baby?
No. Like, but, like, we don't have that big event of graduation in 2019. So I think, I don't know if the year's going to go by faster or slower. Because, like we said at the beginning, like, the meme of 2018 being infinitely long.
Yeah. I think it's kind of about your job, too. If I had, like, a 9-to-5 job, I think it would go by pretty fast.
Yeah.
But as it is, like, where I have so much free time in the day, and then it's like, oh, I'll answer emails for 20 minutes, and then I have so much free time again. Oh, I'll answer a couple more emails.
Yeah.
The days drag on, and I'm, like, unmotivated to do anything, and it just, like, it's awful.
Yeah. When I was working my 9-to-5, like, I found the days went by slowly, but, like, the weeks passed really fast, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, the days felt like it was forever, but then it was like, oh, 2 weeks have passed. I'm getting paid again. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Like, whatever event it was. Like, things always seemed to sneak up on me because, like, every day felt the same.
Yeah.
So nothing felt like it was getting closer. So, yeah, I think depending on the job situation, 2019 could, like, slip by really fast.
Yeah.
or if there's a lot of waiting around and perhaps some midnight musing.
Oh.
It could go by really slowly because you can think and feel shitty and
Yeah. Gotta stop yourself from thinking. It's
Yeah.
so hard. It's a rough life.
yeah.
But it's good. And the new year looks good too.
Yeah.
I don't know. I look forward to the new year. I'm excited for what it'll bring and actually
Yeah, I just don't see it as anything new. You
Yeah.
know? I just see it as the continued life of Evan as opposed to wow, this is a new chapter.
I am
know?
excited about the holidays being over though, because I feel like for almost the entire month of December, things have slowed to a crawl where I'm
Right.
I have so much to do, tending to personal relationships. Everyone's back in town and they're like, oh, Alanna, let's hang out. And then buying gifts and things like that. So there's so much to do that I don't have time to focus on work and doing my
Right.
own things. So I think January will be a good renewal
A release,
of this is my time to focus on things.
Once you get over the New Year's Eve hangover.
Yeah.
And that was episode 8 of Midnight Musing. Neither of us are really big resolution people, but goal setting has been a major part of the whole Midnight Musing experience and adventure. So New Year's resolutions are just kind of a hokier way of setting goals. While I don't personally super believe in the big life-changing ones, I think having a goal for a year isn't necessarily a bad thing, and I do hope to stick to the ones that I mentioned in the episode. I'll be sure to tweet out Alanna's project as soon as that goes live on the internet as well. And we can see if she sticks to her 25 episode goal. And that's about all we have time for this episode. Come back in 2 weeks for episode 9. If you want to hear from me in the interim, you can follow Twitter at _midnightmusing or on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at Thunderdog Radio for updates from the whole network. If you loved this episode a whole lot, you can leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. I would really appreciate it. So, tonight's midnight is a very special one, but I'll see you next midnight.
Thanks for listening. That was a Thunderdog podcast.